Welcome to another episode on the Leshy channel. Today's video is sponsored by my good friends over at the Ridge Wallet. I'm going to tell you more about a cool product that they just dropped later on in this video. But today, we're going to dive into thermal and night vision as I dish out some night ops dirt naps and give some tips on how to get the best out of your nighttime rigs. For most of the thermal shots you're going to see in this video, I'll be running this setup. It's the Aegon Leshy 2 in 25 cal with the 350mm barrel configuration with the Behemoth suppressor up front. On top is the ATN Thor 4 in 4-40X. It's their 640 unit. Man, the clarity on this thing is absolutely exceptional. ATN's actually having a big holiday sale, so I'll throw a link in the description if you want to check them out. Rounding out the rig is the foregrip from Olight, which I absolutely love as it really helps with offhand shooting, which I do quite a bit with this setup. For night vision, I'll be running my Dirty 30 rig. This is a 350mm Leshy 2 in 7.62. So I've got the ATN Excite 4K Pro in 5-20X on top. A big part of the crystal clear footage through night vision that you see on this channel is the direct result of a high quality IR light. So I'm using the best that there is out there, in my humble opinion, from the company called Sniper Hog Lights. So they're a really cool small business out of Texas, and I cannot recommend that brand enough. They got a bunch of different types and sizes, so just choose one that fits your needs. I've used them all. So, with all that setup info out of the way, let's kick off this holiday month with some good old-fashioned Leshy Channel dirt naps. The Leshy Channel presents Night Ops, Night Vision vs. Thermal. Alright, so let's get started with thermal. One common misconception is that it only works at night. Thermal is an amazing tool both day and night. The thing that I love about it is that nothing can hide. So a lot of times I'll find rats and really kind of buried in bushes where to the naked eye or even through night vision, unless they were looking at me, I would never have saw them. The downside of thermal is no matter how much money you spend, and they can get super expensive, they're impacted by the weather. So humidity being the biggest factor. So what's impacted isn't the ability to see the contrast of hot and cold. It's more just the loss of all the details. So everything sort of gets washed out except that the warm object, right, that you're looking at. So for an air gun, this is super important, though, as shot placement is critical. There's no question when you deliver one that's on the Mark II with thermal. So here's a short little compilation of exactly what I'm talking about. Some thermal explosions.
I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to just shut you out. It's just what I've been used to. My heart got calloused, but I don't want to make that excuse. It's hard, but you're worth it. I just want to be good for you. I'm a little damaged, damn you saw the good. When everyone saw baggage, you loved what no one could. Lay in this bed beside you, I don't have to hide away. You see all this wreckage, and it wrecks me that you stay.
For those that hate ads, I get it, but give me 60 seconds to thank a cool company who supports this channel you enjoy watching. I'll throw a little picture-in-picture tracer action up here in just a second to make you happy too. So I was chatting with some friends over at the Ridge about a new product that they just released called the Ridge Ring, and they sent me this 24 karat gold one to check out. There's a few different metals to choose from. So I really like this company. They're kind of less is more when it comes to the number of products that they produce, but the ones that they do really fill the void in at least my EDC. So it arrives in this mini Pelican case, and to my surprise, it comes with a bonus rubber ring for when you want to maybe rock a more casual look or you're going to work out or something. Believe it or not, I was pretty fit not too long ago and would race long-distance triathlon. And during an Ironman, I lost my ring during the swim. It's a pretty nutty swim with thousands of people competing for the straightest line, and with all that chaos going on, it fell off. So I've tried a few over the years, but never really found anything that I liked that was reasonable on the wallet too. So this one checks all the boxes. You got great metal options. I chose the 24 karat gold. It's super comfortable. It's almost like a rubbery kind of on the inside, and it's rounded, it's tapered, and it's affordable. Even at the retail price, it's affordable. But the Ridge was super cool to offer the fans of this channel a 40% discount between now and December 22nd. So use the link in the description and the promo code EDGUNLESHY, EDGUNLESHIY. One of the really cool things the Ridge offers is a replacement or resizing program. So if you lose the ring like I did, or you lose 20 pounds, which happens during an Ironman, not during the race, but while you're training, that certainly happens. So if you lose it or you lose a bunch of weight and you need a new size, they will exchange it for a new size or replace the lost one up to 2 times. So if you're in the market for a new ring, 100% check this one out. So thanks to The Ridge for sponsoring today's video and offering that amazing deal to you guys. So I'll throw a link near the top of the description as well as the pinned comment. Now, let's get back into some night ops. All right, so speaking of precision, here's a quick trick for zeroing an air gun with a thermal. So I've got a little daytime possum out here chilling on the table for one, but we'll ignore him here for a second. I'm shooting into some duck seal in my target. But you could also shoot into a tree, and this will work the same as well. So I'll show you both, actually. When a pellet goes down the barrel, the lead heats up, and this will give a little bit of a tracer effect on film. But when it hits the tree, it heats up even more, and the surface where it penetrated. So the ATN Thor 4s have a one-shot zero. Well, we're going to use 2 for this, but you'll get the drift. So I'll use that first point of impact that I did, and make that my reference point. Then I'll send another into the tree, and then I'll just make the adjustment using the zero feature or whatever scope you're using. By the way, if you're wondering how quiet the new Behemoth silencer is that I'm running, my backyard janitor downrange there hasn't flinched until I put that one just below his tail, letting him know it was time to move on. We're going to transition into some night vision, but as you'll see, there's a place for both night vision and thermal, in my humble opinion. If you can afford it, it's an amazing tool to have both of them, and I love filming with both, as you're seeing here. So when you're picking a thermal or a night vision unit, reticle choices are key, and ATN, to my knowledge, is the only company to offer a reticle in both the thermal and night vision units that you can use for longer ranges with an air gun. And I say that, as you can see here, I used every bit of holdover as I led this muskrat swimming away to just under about 150 yards. Here's that same reticle, but obviously at a lot closer range. This is about 30 yards, depending on where I'm sitting within my little sniper hide there, but we'll call this one 30 yards. So one of the critical things needed, though, for night vision is a great IR. As I mentioned earlier, Sniper Hog Lights is the best I've ever used. I get tons of comments asking me why their footage is blurry and mine's not. It's 100% because of the IR light. So if you get a good one, it just makes things crystal clear, not only to your eye, but obviously the footage as well. So here's a big old backyard bully that I took with the 450 millimeter Leshy 2 and 7.62. I actually haven't seen a ton of them. I've kind of done a pretty good job of, I guess you could say I'm winning the war. But that seems to be isolated to just my yard, because I got a text from my neighbor who asked me to go full send. He walked into his garage and they had just absolutely wrecked it. He had some toys and some stuff in there that he was storing, like some stuffed animals for Christmas, and a raccoon just went in there and just went to town on a whole bunch of crap that he had in there. So I actually used a predator call and was able to bring this guy in and just absolutely anchored him. You know, one of the things that I've switched to is I've moved from pellets to the 47 grain NSA slug. And one of the things in a backyard, you got to be careful with slugs because the over penetration is a real thing. But for raccoons, man, they have such a thick skull that the slugs are just absolutely perfect. Where a pellet, obviously, you're still getting lots of penetration, but nothing compared to what you're getting out of the slugs. So what I also love to do is to bring out, and sometimes I'll switch between the two. So I'll bring out thermal if I want to. So, well, I'll bring out thermal if I don't know if it was a good shot or not, and I'm trying to find it quickly. This one I knew was anchored, so I was just coming out to film it so that you could see what thermal looked up. Nice and close. Look at all that detail. It's just incredible. The ATN Thor 4 640 units are, I love them. They're just an incredible little optic. So the last one is this guy that we'll do for today. And difference is same gun. I'm using the Leshy 2 in 7.62, the 450 barrel. Notice the reticle change though. So for close up, I don't use that smart reticle as much anymore. I use this one. It just is a lot cleaner. I don't need any holdover at 30 yards, probably even out to 50. I could get away with this reticle. But I like it just because it's a simple red dot. And boom, anchor that dude. I actually sent a couple into this guy. You know what? This is pellets. So this is the exact reason why. And you can see I missed just a little bit and it went through the thickest part of the skull and it didn't get as much penetration as I needed, but I sent a few right into just right after that, and the beauty of having the semi-auto. But on this one, when I walked back out, here I'm using a white light. So you'll be able to see kind of the difference of what your preference is for thermal, or here I've got this is the Olight on the bottom with the foregrip that I am just rocking. And so you can kind of see as I walk up, and then I'll switch to night vision. So it's kind of a personal choice. I like night vision just for filming purposes, just because, especially on bigger critters where I can see a lot of the detail, on a skunk especially, where I want to just have a pinpoint shot right behind the armpit. I prefer night vision. So hopefully you guys enjoyed a slightly different kind of video today. I get tons of questions on thermal and night vision, so hopefully I was still able to entertain you guys that click on videos to see me smash critters while being a little bit more educational focused and talk a little bit about the use cases and some best practices for using both. If you're more of a full send, less talk kind of fan, it's a quick turnaround to next week's video where you'll see just that. Thanks for watching the Ed Gun Leshy channel. Want more backyard hunting videos? Grab your favorite beverage and get yourself caught up. There's hundreds just like the one you just watched. Here's a couple favorites to get you started.